Compact luxury crossovers are practically essential for many mainstream luxury automakers. With so many players in this very competitive field, you may find it to be slightly overwhelming with the abundance of choices. The BMW X3 has been the brand's compact luxury crossover since 2004 and looks to see a complete overhaul for 2018, improving on style, luxury, and comfort while still keeping many familiar attributes from its predecessor. So let's go ahead and check out and take a comprehensive look at this 2018 BMW X3. Starting off, this new X3 is more of an evolutionary change this time around, but what you'll find to be highly noticeable is the new front and rear fascias, which are sculpted to resemble BMW's latest vehicles. Measuring at 183.1 inches in length and 74.2 inches in width, the X3 is comparable to many other vehicles within its class. You also find the naming system to be different this time around, with the xDrive 28i now being called the xDrive 30i, and our X3 is powered by the upgraded 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. This exterior color of the X3 is known as the mineral white metallic, and you also do have smart key access on all 4 doors of the vehicle. And when you lock the vehicle, the mirrors will tilt in, and when you unlock it, they'll tilt out. And this interior color is known as the Oyster Vernasca leather interior, and you also do have contrast stitching on the side bolsters, as well as your power adjustable driver's seat with power recline, as well as power lumbar, and you also do have a manual thigh extension. Alright, stepping on inside of the X3 here, very familiar cabin design with the new layout. It's very similar to what you'll find in the newer BMWs, of course, but very business class oriented, and it still has a very contemporary and modern design. It's fairly stylish. I also do love the X3 logo that they put down here as well. And you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start, of course. And what you're hearing there is BMW's very familiar 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. You have a leather wrapped steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, 8-speed automatic here. And in typical BMW fashion, go down for drive and up for reverse. And when you put the vehicle into reverse, this will display your 360-degree view camera here. You have your rear view camera, and then you have a top-down view as well. And you can also adjust the settings, such as the parking aid lines. You can turn that on or off, and the obstacle markings, and you can also adjust the brightness as well as the contrast. And you can also turn the parking sensors on or off if you would like. And then you also do have manual shiftability via the paddle shifters, or you could do it from the gate right here. And you just go push for park. Easy as that. Let's go ahead and turn on the headlights, as well as the fogs and the hazards. Let's go and check out the exterior of the X3. Heated exterior mirrors with LED side turn signal indicators, and you also do have blind spot detection. And you have your 19-inch alloy wheels. Coming up front here, you'll find LED headlights for the low beams and halogens for the high beams, as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signal indicators, and your LED fogs are located down below. And you also have front parking sensors and a front camera. Powering the new X3 here is an upgraded 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, making 248 horses and 258 pound-feet of torque, with EPA estimates rated at 22 in the city and 29 on the highway, with it also being equipped with the xDrive all-wheel drive system. You can also opt for a 3-liter turbocharged 6-cylinder engine if you would like, if you are looking for more power. Competitors of the X3, you're looking at vehicles in the compact luxury crossover class, of course. This includes the likes of the Mercedes-Benz GLC class, Audi Q5, and you can also compare it to the Lincoln MKC. On the top, you also do have your side roof rails with a shark fin antenna, And coming to the rear of the X3, you'll find LED tail lamps with LED turn signal indicators, rear parking sensors, and dual exhaust tips, as well as a rear window wiper with a rear window defroster and a LED third brake light, as well as rear reflectors. Total vehicle price for our particular X3, you're looking at $57,920. EPA estimates, like I said, 22 in the city and 29 on the highway. And the final assembly point for this vehicle is in South Carolina, but the country of origin for the engine is from Austria and the transmission, Germany. Of course, all of your basic power necessities, including your power windows, mirrors, and your power door locks, as well as memory seat settings for 2 people. The interior quality of the X3 features solid and impeccable construction with soft touch panels that abound everywhere, such as on the door panels as well as on top of the dashboard too. And you'll find this to be a very welcoming and inviting interior, just what you would expect of a German luxury vehicle. And I especially love the ambient interior lighting that certainly glows up at nighttime. Coming to the steering wheel design, pretty good looking and stylish steering wheel. And on the left side, you'll find your controls for your safety technologies, such as your adaptive cruise control, as well as your lane keep assist. And on the right side of the steering wheel, you'll find your Bluetooth phone controls and steering wheel mounted audio controls. And the steering wheel is also heated and does manually tilt and telescope with a pretty good range of adjustment, but you can also opt for a power tilting and telescopic steering wheel. Up here you have your automatic dim and rearview mirror with garage home link and LED map lights, as well as SOS Safety Connect and your controls to open up your panoramic sunroof, which certainly lets a lot of light into the cabin, makes it feel much more open and airy inside of here. We also do have dual cup holders and your USB charging port with your wireless charging pad, and you can cover this up if you would like. Also have your 12-volt power outlet too. Down here you'll also find your buttons for your camera, your rear view camera, and then you also do have your downhill descent control, your parking sensors, and then your controls for your different driver selectable modes and your traction control off, and your automatic brake hold feature with your electronic parking brake. The seats in the X3 are very well supportive and comfortable enough for long road trips, and it's certainly aided by the adjustable thigh extension that certainly helps out on the thigh support. And visibility, you'll find it to be very similar to the previous generation X3. Plenty of visibility on the front windows, however, and getting to the rearward visibility, it's decent. Coming to your climate controls, we do have tri-zone automatic climate control with dual up front, where you can adjust your temperatures and you can also synchronize them, and then you have your recycling mode too. You also do have your adjustable fan speed levels and your different zones, as well as your 3-stage heated seats for the driver and the front passenger. And we do have your front window defroster as well as your rear window defroster too. And up here you also find your presets, which feature touch capacitive buttons too. And let's get to the infotainment system and the main head unit. This is the iDrive system, and this is their latest iteration of the iDrive system. It also features gesture control, where you can adjust the volume like this, pretty cool. And it's also a touchscreen too, whereas in past generations of the iDrive system they weren't touchscreens. But I love this system, it's fairly intuitive. And then you also do have your controls located down here, which you could control the iDrive system by. And then we have your audio sources, which do include AM, FM, as well as XM satellite radio, CD player, Bluetooth streaming audio, screen mirroring, and your USB port. And then you also do have your tone, where you can adjust the balance, treble, bass, and your fader. And then you have your equalizer settings, and you could turn off the Logic 7 surround sound system. Then you can also personalize your menu and manage your mobile devices, where you can hook up multiple Bluetooth devices onto the system. What's also very convenient is this little back button located down here, which is pretty cool when switching in between the different menus. Coming to your communication, you can hook up your Bluetooth phone, have all of your contacts stored on here, view your recent calls. You have your BMW roadside assistance, BMW messages, and your voice memos, and you can personalize your menu if you like. And your navigation system, which the map quality is pretty good. And you also do have your live traffic, and it gives you Google Earth-like type views. And then you can enter in your destination by voice if you would like, of course. And you have your trips, settings, and recent destinations. And then your Connect to Drive, weather, news, online search, wiki, local, Yelp, and then your BMW assistance and BMW messages. And then your My Vehicle, which you have your onboard owner's manual, driving information, technology in action, and vehicle status, like things from your oil, temperature, as well as your tire pressure monitoring system too. And then driver profiles, you can also set that if you like, and then other vehicle settings too, which you could change from the doors, keys, lighting, speed warning, driver attention control, driving experience control, climate functions, all that good stuff. And then your intelligent safety is for all of your safety technologies, of course, including your lane departure alert, blind spot detection, all that good stuff. And you could set different settings for those individual safety technologies. And then your side collision warning, pedestrian warning, all that good stuff. And then notifications, any messages about that. And then down here you also do have your different driver selectable modes, which will show you up on the screen. You could configure this if you like. And then you have your sport displays, which also shows you the horsepower as well as the torque. And then it also shows up on the gauge cluster here what driver selectable mode you're in. Coming to the gauge cluster here, you'll also find your fuel gauge on the left as well as your speedometer, and then it also gives you your road sign information, exterior temperature readout, and then on the right you have your tachometer as well as your coolant temperature. And this is a digital display here. As far as the way the X3 drives, you'll find it to be fairly similar to its predecessor, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It feels pretty responsive and provides pretty good on-road feel too. Especially there is a pretty good amount of distinction between the different driver selectable modes. It's fairly noticeable when you switch between them. The 8-speed automatic never hesitates to shift and is also fairly refined too. And the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder provides a reasonable amount of power. While it's not thrill-seeking, it will get the job done when making highway passing maneuvers. Interior quality does follow through in the rear, and you also do have dual map pockets too. And you'll also find that there is a little bit more headroom as well as more leg room too. And you have your rear air vents as well as your rear automatic climate controls and a 12-volt power outlet. And you have your rear center armrests with cup holders. And the seats themselves are also a little on the firmer side compared to the front seats. All right. Power liftgate. You also find that the cargo space is on par with most of its competitors, and you also find a little storage compartment when you lift this up. And you can also fold the seats down by these levers here, and then you have your cargo cover as well as a 12-volt power outlet.